Hey everyone, this is Eric Mason doing a little screencast of our meeting for those that weren't able to attend. I will go relatively quickly through this because I don't want you to have to watch a 30-minute video, but please feel free to reach out and contact us if you have any questions. Our emails are in here somewhere, I bet. Here we go. These are the current board members for the Booster Club, and we'll go through toward the end when to reach out to each of these people, but we want you to be able to see all 8 folks. Here's the first 4 and the second 4. We have a very active social media presence, both through our website, through Facebook, and through Instagram. Please follow us. Oh, and also here, this Pride of Mill Creek parents pictures and info is also really, really good. That's actually where we get a lot of our pictures from the kids. The band directors run the marching band one, and the parents run the pictures one, and so you'll get a lot of information and highlights from us, and you'll get a lot of great photos from the parent website. We compete in a circuit called Bands of America, and I always like to prepare incoming rookie parents, especially because we're competing against the absolute best in the country. And so I think a lot of people know that we have a very successful band program when we go to compete, and we're thrilled to finish 6th or 7th, and they think, why in the world are they so excited about that when this band won and that band won and this band won and that band won? And it's because we choose to compete against the absolute best. And what that allows us to do is to really make sure that it gives us a reason to really maximize every student's potential. We want them to learn to be their absolute best so that they can transfer it. I always tell kids, once you've learned to be good at one thing, you can be good at anything. And that's the philosophy that we run the band program by. So if you can be among the best in the country at band, then you know what? You can be the best surgeon or the best lawyer or the best businessman or the best salesperson or the best garbage man too. Those are our goals. Here's our calendar, kind of month by month calendar for you. May is over, but there are some guard rehearsals at the end of this month and drumline rehearsals at the end of this month as well, upcoming. So please make sure you're aware of those. June's pretty light. The one guard and drums are here a good bit, and the WINS mini camp is June 25th through 27th. And if you're a rookie parent, it's just the 26th and 27th. For returning members, it's the 25th through 27th. You should, or your student should at the very least, be getting some contact from their section leader, where they will be told all that stuff, and also we'll send some emails out the week or two beforehand just to make sure. There's the rookie camp June 26th. This gives you an overview of what we're going to ask for the kids on that day. We want them to come to band camp very comfortable, both with the people and with some of the basic techniques, so that it's not like drinking from a fire hose. We'd rather give them a little information in June, let them digest it for a few weeks, and then we can be a little bit, we can go a little bit faster, and we can be a little more specific once they come back in July. The July calendar, July is a big, heavy month for us. The one thing to really note on here is this volunteer obligation for the DCI show. We ask every family to commit to working 4 events throughout the year. The first of those is this drum corps show. DCI is an international group that tours the United States in the summer. There's 40 or 50 drum corps, and a drum corps is like a marching band with no woodwinds. And these kids are usually in their late teens, early 20s, and they're the best marching bands in the world. We usually call it professional marching band, even though no one's getting paid. But we host a competition here. It's a lot of fun for our students, but it requires a lot of hands on deck. Look, if you're unable to work those volunteer obligations, please reach out to Julie Crawford or to Crystal Terry, really Crystal Terry, to let her know, and they will find a way for you to contribute to that event, even if you're out of town, because we know a lot of folks do that kind of stuff. Band camp starts on the 15th. The July 19th, we're working on a really interesting and fun plan for the 19th because of the way the school's set up, but I don't have information for you just yet on that. But the rest of the calendar is pretty obvious. The one thing that I think just got covered by my presentation information there is this July 27th, we do a mattress fundraiser where we sell mattresses. And I'll come back to that. I know there's a screen for that here in just a minute. This is the band camp schedule. I'm not going to read it to you, but because you can see it very plainly here. The first few days are shorter. They end at 4, and then the last half is 9 to 9. Again, that 19th is still up in the air. I promise you we'll have information about that before or at the movement camp. A lot of parents are always worried that if their kids here till 4 o'clock, we're gonna kill them in the heat, and I promise you that's not the case. We come inside at noon, and we're not outside again until 6 o'clock. Um, we're never trying to beat kids up in the heat. We do ask every day that the kids bring their own lunch, and if we're there till 9 o'clock, we will provide them dinner, but every day they have to bring their own lunch. Or you can deliver it to them at lunchtime if you want. This you can read. Look, I cannot stress enough how important it is for kids to come to the first day of band camp already hydrated and ready. If the first time your skin has seen the sun is 9 a.m. on the 15th, we're in trouble. And this is a true story. Every year we will have somebody pass out from heat at band camp. And every year we have more of that happen in the first hour of practice than the rest of the season combined. It is from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the first day when it's not hot that we lose a lot of kids. And it's usually because they've been inside all summer, or the last thing they did was drink a cup of coffee and eat a sausage patty before they came to school. And we need to make sure that that weekend before that they're outside and they're active and that they're drinking Gatorade and they're drinking water, so that when they walk up on the first day, we don't have any of those issues. Sorry about that. Our regular rehearsal schedule during the season is here. Again, not going to read that to you. I love how this just says time management and grades during the school year. There's a couple of notes on this. Number one, our kids always, not always, but on the whole, make better grades in the fall than they do in the spring. We find that the more structured their schedule is after school, the better their grades are, because they know they have to get their homework done in a certain amount of time. And then on the days when they can go home at 2:30, then they wind up just pushing it aside. So don't worry that your kids' grades are going to crash, but also they need to be aware that they are committing to these marching band practices and rehearsals and games. You know, if you have a lot of homework or a project due the next day and we have a rehearsal, the expectation is that you will be at rehearsal, because I'm sure your teacher didn't assign you that project that day. So we stay on kids about being at rehearsal, because their absence affects everyone around them, because then there's a big hole in the field that the other kids have to deal with. We have an online absence request form and that we'll share with you, or that'll be obvious as we get to the season. And then I did it again. Any time a student misses a practice, they have to make up that time in a thing that we call Horn Club. We do that every Friday or the day of or the day before the game to give students a time to make up time that they missed. But if they miss a rehearsal and they don't make up their time, they cannot perform at the game, because we will learn something new at every practice all season. We will make adjustments and changes up until the last day. I love this. There's no bench. We're all starting players. And so if a student misses a change, and they can very easily cause problems for 220 of their closest friends. We do have Friday and Saturday events. There's a football games. The schedule's up. All this is in Charms as well. We do have football games. And I don't send home an email with the schedule for Friday. We post it on the board for the students, and we ask them to be responsible for their schedule. So what we encourage kids to do is, if the parents want to have the schedule, then you're welcome to come in and look at it, but also the kids can take a picture of it with their phone and send it to their parents. You know, most folks do that. We're trying to make them responsible for that one part of their own schedule and their own life. We're just trying to teach them some responsibility there. And then we do have some added rehearsals on Fridays and Saturdays. Those are on the calendar as well. And we have competitions on several Saturdays. Here's first football game, August 24th. That's a Saturday, and it's a game downtown. I haven't gotten the details yet on what time we need to be there, but I would assume that we're going to be leaving here about 6 o'clock or a little earlier on that Saturday, and we'll be very, very late getting back. We have no control over that game. The local school doesn't have any control over it. We just get told what time kickoff is, and then the actual kickoff is usually much later than that. And so it's going to be a very late night for us, because we're the late game this year. September, if you have the original calendar, there's a couple of changes from what we sent, because the football schedule got changed slightly. So homecoming is now September the 13th, and 8th grade night is the 27th. Those are reversed. Your next volunteer obligation is here, September 21st as well. We host the Gwinnett County Marching Band Exhibition, where every school in the county comes. October is competition season for us, is October, so you'll see 3 here, October 5th, October 18 to 20, and October 26th. This will be an overnight trip. We'll have details for you at the band camp meeting about what's going to happen at Western Carolina. Excited about that event. Oh, please note, we do have a game on fall break. That is not our choice or the football teams or football coaches' choice. The football schedule got set before the school schedule got set. So I've been assured this is the last time this will ever be an issue, but we do have a game that week. So if there's a family trip or a conflict, please let us know as soon as possible. Overnight trip to Western Carolina. I'll let you read this. It's pretty straightforward. This is an additional cost for every student, and we're working to make it as inexpensive as possible for the kids. This is a weird thing for us this year because we have our last competition on October 26th, then we have our last rehearsal that following Monday. But then we don't have a game that Friday, but we have a game the following Friday that's part of the regular season. So this November 8th game is not a playoff game. It's a regular season game, but it's after a full week off for us, which has never happened before. So that's obviously a required event. Keep your eye on these playoff dates. We will go to the playoffs, and the thing for us is kids are expected to be at the playoff games. However, the excuse policy gets a lot more open. So if you've planned an out-of-town trip, please plan it out. Go feel free. Or if your child does swim and dive and they can't come, we have that a lot because they have meets on Friday. That's totally fine with us. We'll communicate that through the absence request form. All right, communication. Physicals. We just did our physicals last week. There's a couple things for you to note if you did not get a physical done on the 18th. One, we're working to have some physicals done at movement camp in June. I'll have more details about that for you as soon as I can. Hopefully we'll have a doctor who'll come in and do a few for us on that day, which would be awesome. But if you get your physical from your doctor, you must use the Mill Creek physical form. It's on the athletics website. It's in the front office if you want to get an actual physical form. But you have to use the Mill Creek one or it won't take. And I know that's a pain. But also it's also on our website. So please make sure you're using the correct physical form and then turn those in to Mrs. Wilds or to myself. Charms is a website that we use for all of our communication and our calendar and all that stuff. And it is at charmsoffice.com. And there are some videos on our website under the Essentials tab about how to use Charms, which will be very, very, very helpful for you. Please take a look at those. They're a couple of minutes long each. Also, we make online payments through Charms. If you, like me, don't want to write a check anymore, you can do an online credit card or debit card payment through Charms. Our website, prideofmillcreek.org, has links and all sorts of information there as well if you want to dive in. Also, it has the bio of all the staff members, so if you want to know more about who's here with us, that's awesome. Here we go. Who to talk to. Julie Crawford is our treasurer. Anything that has to do with money goes to her. The VP of Student Affairs is mostly in charge of chaperones and scheduling questions. So if you have, hey, do we have a practice this week? What time's the practice? What should they wear? Can I chaperone? That goes to Adriana at VP of Student Affairs. Guard questions go to Jessica Taylor, who is it's the guard mom. It's director of color guard, but she's the mom in charge of the guard. The booster president, any big questions or sponsorship questions go to Brandon. Any fundraising questions can go to Amy Meinert. And there's some more information about fundraisers here in just a minute. And if you have major concerns, if you're worried about the health and safety of your student, or if you have an academic question about what day is the concert, or when is the kids taking their SPG, or why did I get a 0 on this test, then Bridget and I are the contacts for that. We do as much fundraising as possible to help offset the cost of the program. And I feel obliged to always say to people that I recognize that when you're in middle school and you pay $40 or $50 a year for band, the idea that it's $820 is significant. But for other bands like us, for other Bands of America bands that compete at the level we do, we are dirt cheap on the dues side. And that's why we have volunteer obligations, so that we can make money without asking you for money. And that's why we offer as many fundraisers as we can that will make a lot of money for the students, so that you can offset those costs. Our first one's the Mattress Fundraiser. It's on the last day of band camp when we do our parent exhibition. There's also a mattress sale. They're name brand mattresses. This is not out of the back of somebody's pickup truck. It's a very reputable company. They're very nice mattresses. And they set up a huge showroom with 30 or 40 mattresses to sell in the Commons area. So we ask you to please participate in that. And there's an information video on the Pride of Mill Creek website as well. Script, oh, this is fancy. Script is a program that we use, a gift card program, where we buy gift cards you buy gift cards at face value, and some of that money gets kicked back to you into your account. And these are the ones that we have cash and carry. And this, you get an email every week about this. It's usually Tuesday afternoons. If you want to come get Publix cards or Kroger cards, you come and buy them on Tuesday. They will hand you an actual gift card. And then you will get the rebate amount in your child's, to offset your child's dues. Famous Joe's is a local restaurant that does this for us at an absolutely tremendous rate. So if you like Famous Joe's, take advantage of that. The rest of it, I'll let you read this on your own. The other one, oh my goodness, I'm going to let you read this without me. We also use this company called Great Lakes Script, who does online gift cards, and I watched this happen in front of me when I was at Chili's the other day with some band parents, and the bills came, they pulled out their phones, they went to Great Lakes Script, they bought an Applebee's, not an Applebee's, we're at Chili's, they bought a Chili's gift card, they paid their bill with their phone using that gift card, and they got money back to offset their child's dues. And I'll tell you that stuff like Delta, or cruise lines, other cruise lines will do this. You can buy gift cards through Script that are usually 8 or 10%. So if you go on a $3,000 cruise, you're putting a good bit of money back into your child's account, or you just use it to offset your everyday expenses that you're going to spend anyway. It just takes a couple of seconds to set up. Go to shopwithscript.com and you can set all that up. Here's a bunch of information on the rebates on those. Ooh, Old Navy is 14%. And again, you can read this. Oh, there's the enrollment code. You will need this code. You don't even need any help to set this up. You can do it all on your own. Tamara Miller is always happy to talk about scripting. She is our script coordinator. She's delightful. So if you have any questions, you can directly email her. Excuse me. If your business that you own or work for is looking for a chance to sponsor an organization, we love to have that. Northeast Georgia Medical Group does our physicals every year, and they donate all the money that they get from those physicals to us. And so sponsorships like that or in-kind work is great. Or, hey, here's $500 to spend on charter buses. Any of that stuff is great, and we're happy to work with you or your business to find the best way to help us advertise you based on that. So please feel free to reach out to me or Brandon Terry about sponsorships. That's also true for the Drum Corps show this summer. If you work for an organization that will only sponsor big national events, then you can do the Drums Across America. That's the DCI show, rather than the band directly. And we do other stuff all year. We talked about script. We work the concessions at the Gwinnett Stripers, which you should already be getting emails about from Amy Minor. We do sheet sales throughout the year, and we do a sweatathon, which you'll get some information about coming up. There's nothing you can do about that right this moment. And then here are the specific people to contact about specific fundraisers. Hey, we need you to volunteer. It's important that you volunteer. It's important for the organization. It's also really, really important to your children. Being there for them, being present for them, being a part of something that they will become passionate about and spend tons of hours on helps, I think, create better relationships with parents and students. Also, we can't run this organization without your help. So if you have any of these skills, and I know auto painting is a weird one that was specific from a few years ago, but anything you feel like you can do, we'll find a place for you. You don't have to wait till your sophomore year to volunteer. Moms, dads, aunts, uncles, whatever, we'll take all the help we can get, and we'll take it immediately. It helps your kid feel more connected, it helps you feel more connected, and helps you get better information. And here is, if you have these specific skills and you want to volunteer, here are the people to contact there as well. Okay, we don't have this because this is an online meeting. So that's it. I appreciate your time. I hope that this answers questions. Please feel free to reach out to me. My email's in here a couple of times. If you have any questions, reach out to me. If you do me and Bridget at the same time, you'll be more likely to get a fast response, and that'll be awesome. Thanks so much. Hope this helps.